everybody, this is Dr. Nan, and I'm here for the first exotic lifestyle show, how to live exotically and sensually and live big, live large, and have the best life possible. For those of you who've been following me, you know that I do a show. Hey, Robbie, hey, everybody. You know I do a show every Thursday with Karen Lee Potter, and we do the Wild Women with Wine show. And so, but tonight I'm coming to you to bring, to kind of give you an intro to what I'm going to do for a weekly series. I'll start with 6 weeks and have a different topic each night and have somebody to interview. Tonight it's just you and me. So I would like to know what you're interested in, and I'll take notes in terms of living exotically. When I say exotic lifestyle, what does that conjure up in your mind? As many of you know, I've done events all over the world, and so I have some ideas about what is exotic living, but I want to know what you think it is. And when I say that, what is it that kind of blows your skirt up? So somebody says travel. So travel can be very exotic. And that can be a lot of different things too. I've been to a lot of different locales around the world, and you know, there you can find, I think, something exotic in anything. So it says different from the norm. Yeah, that's true. Break out of the norm. You know, I think sometimes people think that I have this exotic, wild life, that I'm hanging from the chandeliers every night and, you know, doing all kinds of crazy things. And I think that if I were living my life like that, I think I would be exhausted all the time. When we talk about exotic lifestyle, there's a lot of different layers to that. And I think you can live authentically, and that may feel very exotic to you. You might live just really a sweet private life, and that could feel exotic to you. So it really depends on, you know, some people that have busy, hectic careers, when they come home and they close the doors to their home, they feel like that's their exotic space. So I think there's lots of ways that we can kind of gear up and kind of reset what we think is exotic, and you can even find some things in every day that you can find a little bit exotic and erotic. So somebody says, I want to know how to make the time logistically. Well, you know, I have a theory about that. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, right? And most of us are the masters of our schedules. I mean, we have work and family and obligations, but we're the ones that have to say yes or no. And I find that when people say, I don't have time, typically they're saying, I don't prioritize myself. I prioritize everybody else until there's nothing left. And that is something that we can be talking about during these shows, is how to put yourself on your to love and take care of list every day. Because, you know, if you're not taking care of you, how can you possibly take care of anybody else? You have to have your tanks full. So travel, swing, food, wine, okay. Now, you know, the exotic lifestyle has nothing to do with swinging. Swinging or being swinging partners, or being in the sexy lifestyle, that could be a part of your idea of an exotic lifestyle, but it isn't the meaning of exotic lifestyle. So let's just clear that up. Exotic lifestyle is anything that you find extraordinary, exotic. You know, you think about, there's exotic cars, there's exotic islands, there's exotic travel, there's exotic events, entertainment, even exotic dancing. So there's all kinds of things that we can put into that vat of exotica. it's different than just being a swinger. Being people who are swingers, that's a lifestyle, but there's lots of people in this sexy lifestyle that might swing and might not. But we're talking about the exotic lifestyle, how to live exotically, how to add more sensuality to your life, how to pause. Thank you, happy 3023, Brian. I think it's 2023 unless I missed something. So when we're really thinking about what it is we want in life, being able to set some intentions, I think that's different than a New Year's resolution. I'm not a big fan of New Year's resolutions, but I think we can set new intentions for our life to make a shift in a new direction. I've often said that part of my work is to make a big shift happen. And because I've made major shift, big old piles of shift happen in my life over the years, and it's hard. And I think we need support doing that. And we also need encouragement and somebody maybe to be our guide and let us know that if we totally screw up, it's okay. You know, that we can, as long as it's not doing a major damage to ourselves or others, we can take risks and try new things. So the Exotic Lifestyle Show is I'm gonna be bringing in people that have done exotic things or have exotic products that maybe you're interested in learning about. Certainly, there's a lot of exotic places on Earth. I have to tell you, one of my dreams is to go to the Maldives. I think that's, you say it, Maldives, I believe it is. Or someplace like that. So that's on my exotic travel list. Excuse me, I'm a little hoarse tonight. Okay, thank you for coming in and listening. So I'm going to offer to do this for 6 weeks on Wednesdays from 6 to 7. I was a little tardy today. Got completely distracted. So I apologize for that. But I will be prompt and come in at 6 and answer your questions. And so what I'd invite you to do is during the week, if you think of something that you found something that's really amazing, really exotic something or other or idea, email me or message me, and then I can bring that up and talk about it during the show too. Because, we're all in this together. So we really want to be able to support each other. Hey, Bryson. So anyway, does anybody else have any ideas? So as you're popping into the chat, this is the Exotic Lifestyle Show, and I'd love to hear what you think is exotic. Like when I say that word, what's happening in your little thought bubble over your head? Is it somebody said travel? How about food? How many of you are foodies? And the idea of an exotic meal kind of inspires you or turns you on in some way, shape, or form. And I exotic cars. Some people are really into exotic cars. And exotic clothing, exotic fantasies. And we can just take it in lots of different directions. How many of you have wildly exotic fantasies and you don't share them with anybody? You're too afraid to share them with your partner. Pizza is exotic. Women are exotic. People can be very exotic. Oh, heck yes. Exotic foods are something I'm all about. Yay, Megan. So, Megan, what's one of the most exotic foods you've ever eaten or enjoyed? Because that's definitely a sensual pleasure is eating. And so we can do, I just rewatched a great scene in a film, 9.5 Weeks, that was way back. But they did this great refrigerator on the floor scene where he blindfolded her and fed her and poured food on her. And I mean, it was really hot. So I think you can make food pretty exotic and erotic. So how about, what else do you think is exotic? How about film? Are you into unusual or exotic films? So, oh, I'm an adventurous eater. I had my first raw oyster when I was 2. Wow. I think kids that are exposed to those type of foods early on typically grow up to be much more in the food oriented pleasure. I mean, I've always been a hedonist, and when you look at what is the true the meaning of hedonist is that you're pleasure seeking, that you enjoy the pleasures of life and all the senses. So it's kind of fun to think about all of the senses and then attach something exotic to that. So obviously if you're vision and you love exotic people or exotic looking things, if you're into the oral tastes, then foods, smells. I love going into like where they have essential oils and just enjoying all the essential oils. And I think different perfumes and colognes, obviously that's why people wear them, because they can be very attractive. And I tend to really be tactile. My sense of touch is probably one of my favorite senses. And so my kids all tease me that they know that anything I buy them, it's always going to feel good. So when I shop, I have to shop with my hands and feel the fabrics and feel how it feels on my skin. And so I think that in anything that's of that kind of sensual nature and in the touch. Tide detergent is exotic. Okay. Whatever blows your skirt up is fine with me. I'm all about whatever, we don't yuck people's yum. We try not to. So I'm not really inviting anybody in tonight that I don't know. So send me a note, and next time if you want to come in, I'll be able to have a conversation with you about what the rules of engagement are with me. All right, so I'm loving that people are interested in living exotically. I think the world seems a little rough right now, especially all over. I mean, what part of the world isn't being affected by politics and war and drama and hate and all those things? And so I think when we can take a little time and talk about things that are really about enjoyment and pleasure and sensuality and connection and things that make us feel good, I think that's an important aspect of life, to find things that balance out some of that crazy chaos that's happening in our day-to-day lives. Anybody else have anything that they find exotic? Does anybody have or enjoy exotic cars? What kind of car do you find exotic? And what is it about a car or even a motorcycle? I always found Harleys very exotic. Just the sound of them and that reverberation when you're sitting on it, that's kind of exciting. And they just have a little bit of a nastiness. They're kind of cool that way. So we're just going to keep talking about that. So I'll keep tonight's show short, since I don't have anybody that I'm going to interview. But I wanted to introduce a spa. Oh yeah, I like spas too, where you have all the senses. There's if anybody's in Texas, if you haven't been to the King Spa or the Castle, it's Spa Castle, and oh my goodness, these are the most amazing. They're Korean spas. They are beautiful. They are massive. They have every one of your senses is pleasured in this place. They're just incredible. So if you ever go to Texas, I think they have one in New York. It's very small, but the ones, of course, they do everything bigger in Texas, right? So if you go to Texas, go to the Spa Castle or the King Spa. I think there's 2 of them in and around Dallas. those are great experiences. So if you like those kind of sensual pleasures, you'll enjoy that. Bryson, you're in Texas. Oh, how close are you to Dallas? What's my best spa experience? I mean, one of those, went with a group. There were about a group of about, I think, 5 or 6 of us that went to the King Spa in Dallas. And they have all of these little huts that are saunas. And they're all the different elements. And so there's one sauna that's completely surrounded it's encased in gold. There's one that's charcoal. There's one that's amethyst. They're all different temperatures. And on the outside, they have a list of the therapeutic things that this is going to do for you, and how long it's safe to stay in there. Well, the gold room, which was just completely encased in gold, is like it's like a pyramid. And so my friends and I went in, and they usually only hold maybe 8 to 10 people. And I sat in the center and taught a yoga class in this beautiful gold dome. And we ohmed in there, and oh my gosh, the sound was incredible, and it was hot, and we didn't do a lot of vigorous yoga, but we did breath work, we did meditation, so people were having all kinds of images. And no, we weren't naked in the spa. It's not the King Spa is not one that you can be co-ed naked. No. But the men's and women's dressing rooms are huge, and they both have their own sauna spas, different water bodies of water at different temperatures, and so that was fun. So that was probably one of my best spa experiences. But I like them all. I have never had a really bad spa experience. So again, that's the tactile sensuality in me, that I just love that touch and that connection to the skin. Think about it, the skin is the largest organ in the body. And so when we're being caressed and taken care of with our skin, it affects us, everything. So you're in the area, Bryson, you need to go check that out. The King Spa is the one that's beautiful. And then there's the other one that's, I think, called Spa Castle, the one that has a lot of outdoor water, pools and that kind of thing, and that's a great one to go to in the summer. But the other one's better for the winter. People with their families go. They give you these little outfits, look like prison outfits, like little shorts and a t-shirt. But it's super quiet. It's super mellow. The floors are all this beautiful bamboo. Everybody's barefoot. Everybody's showered. Everything's very clean, and they're heated. So it's just a really elegant way to spend a day. And you pay by the 24 hours, so you can actually stay the night there. You can sleep. They have a restaurant. They have a movie theater. It's bizarre, but really fun. So we have Kinky with Flaws joined. That's a great name. So I'm curious about that. So Kinky with Flaws, what kind of things do you find exotic? And so I'm just introducing myself a little bit tonight on this show. Many of you know me already. And so there's my exotic husband. Getting ready to go to karate and beat somebody up.
I'll join you next week.
He's my king. All right. Have fun.
Yes.
Come back in one piece. Don't hurt anybody. So anyway, so if you have questions, I've been to many lifestyle resorts, yeah. And those are very exotic. The thing I love about them is that it's truly just you get to design your vacation, and it's for belly buttons. I don't know what that means. And so you get to design your vacation, and the lifestyle resorts are no pressure zones. It's like adults can go and redefine themselves And the rules are simple: be respectful. No means no, and don't put your naked bits in a chair where there's people having meals, unless it's outside. It's pretty fun. You like my husband? I do too. I do too. He's a pretty cool dude. So does anybody else have anything they would like to ask tonight? And so think about it going forward. Things that we could do as a group and to create some exotic lifestyle experiences, or even just learning how to bring some of that exotic life into your daily life. Now, I started off the show by saying, if we lived a wild exotic life 24/7, we would desensitize to that kind of exoticness. And that, to me, that takes the fun out of it. And somebody said it early on in the show that it's because it's something new. It's something that's outside of your normal daily life. So it's nice to have a balance. I have a very normal daily life. How was my experience? Was great, and what I did is personal. I totally enjoyed the experience that I had. And so when we're merging our personal life, our family life, and then we want something a little exotic, you can even make I'm big on lighting, and so make your personal space in your home bring some exotic lighting in. I just ordered a couple of lights that I found on Instagram, but they look really cool because they create almost a lotus flower shaped illumination, and so that could make a very exotic scene in your own bedroom at home. So you don't necessarily have to go anyplace else to have an exotic experience. One of the fun things that Mark and I did for many years when we taught hedonism for Valentine's week is we would have the couples on Valentine's night. We did a shared meal where the couples would feed each other their meals. And at first people are like, really? Do I have to do this? It doesn't sound very sexy. But then when they would pause and they would put their partner's plate in front of them, and they would have to face each other, and they would have to stay aware the whole time about when their partner might be hungry or thirsty because they were giving them their drink, wiping their mouth with their napkin, taking care of them, but also being aware of what kind of bites they like to eat, what order their food they like to eat it in. The amount of learning that people that had been together for 30 or 40 years had this experience, which was very exotic, about learning about your partner and how much they want to eat. And what everybody finds when they do that is that they slow down, they don't eat as fast, and they eat less. And they feel better after the meal. And when you don't feel so full after your meals, then it's a lot easier to feel frisky. So, so people that eat a lot at night and get super full typically aren't very amorous and don't want to bring in that extra exoticness into their bedroom. Oh yeah, multicolor smart bulbs are great for this. Put them in your bathroom, set color to sunset purple, and take a nice bath. Yeah, music, a couple candles, some scented bath bombs. I mean, there's just so many things that we can bring into the exoticness of life. Giving, if you have a partner, giving and getting massages from each other. If you don't have a partner, going and getting massages, and enjoying that sensual touch and that human connection. I think that, here we are sitting here on social media, right? And we can't really smell each other, see each other, touch each other. We don't have that ability. So the more we do this online communication and interaction, I think the more starved we can get for physical touch and connection. So please make sure that you're taking time to get hugs, ask for hugs from people that you know, hopefully. But sometimes, that I've seen in New York City, strangers standing on the street with a sandwich board sign saying free hugs. And how many people will walk by and accept a hug? Because that human heart-to-heart connection is powerful and healing and grounding. And if you feel safe in that realm, oh my gosh, it can really, it actually biochemically improves our immune system. It calms our minds. It calms our nervousness. I can't say enough about it. Increases our sense of joy. Yep, anything that sets the mood. And it can be, when you say that, the mood, it doesn't even have to be a mood for what. It's just to reset your mood. I think oftentimes we think that that we have to have a goal, like a manipulative goal to seduce someone or to get somebody else to do something, when really all we need to do is be thinking about resetting our own mood. And getting into the body, feeling the breath, being into the sensual, sensory experience brings you into your own state of being. And then you check in. And if you're feeling out of sorts, moving into the exotic or erotic can really bring you into a better state of mind, a happier place, a place where you can feel more joy and life, connection, and excitement. So I think these are all the things that I'd like to talk about over the next 6 weeks. And maybe if you have certain color, if you have certain light bulbs that you've really loved and you've bought and how you've decorated, send me information on that, and I'll share it with our listeners so that everybody can have access to a sexier, healthier, happier, more sensual life. I will be putting these Instagram lives up on my YouTube channel, which is Dr. Nancy Sutton Pierce. And Happy New Year to you too. Happy 2023. So I'll be putting these up on my YouTube channel. So feel free to follow me on YouTube, Dr. Nancy Sutton Pierce. And then you can add comments onto the videos and links too, because that'll be a great place to have, because we can't do links in here on Instagram. So, but YouTube does. So we can find a way to do that. All right. Well, I am getting a little tired of hearing myself talk. Love you back. Thank you. Thank you guys for coming in tonight and checking in on the new Exotic Lifestyle show. I've got lots of things planned for you, but I want to make sure that I'm serving you in this show. So send me your ideas, send me your suggestions, send me things that you would like to know more about in terms of exotic living. People mention lifestyle resorts, and there's lifestyle resorts, and we say lifestyle. They're called lifestyle friendly because they're adults only. They're usually clothing optional, and they have a frisky, exotic side to them. That means that there's fewer rules and more freedom to design your experience based on your own boundaries. And I think for adults, it's a great opportunity to go to a place like that and shed your rules. Not just your clothes, but shed your rules. Thank you, glowing beach face. And then pause and see how you maneuver a week where you are much more free to do and be, and see which of those rules you think, oh, I still want that one. I still need that one. And you can pick them back up as you find them fitting to who you are today. What I've learned is that a lot of adults continue to carry the dogma of their childhood, their church, their parents, their relatives, their schools, and they've never given themselves a chance to really ask, are these things really fitting to me and who I am now and who I want to be. Because they're all made up. There's nothing solid in a belief. Beliefs are all made up. And I think once we click on that and we go, wow, that belief was just made up by humans because they needed that belief for them. But maybe I don't need that belief for me. Or maybe I want to learn what other people's beliefs are. And maybe some of those sound kind of fitting to who I am now. So let that crap go and you'll feel like you're flying. Absolutely. But then we come back from our vacation and we have to put back on some of those shields because not everybody can handle our total freak flag flying free self. So my next live show for this show, the Exotic Lifestyle Show, will be next Wednesday. So Wednesday is 6 p.m. Pacific time, and I will try to be on time. I promise I will do better. And then tomorrow night, Thursday night, Karen and I are back for our first Wild Women with Wine show of the year. And so we'll be talking about some fun things tomorrow night. That tends to be a little snappier because we're interacting with each other. But I will be bringing on some guests during this show because I really want to be able to expand it into helping people find a new avenue that maybe will add some depth to their life and more joy. I talk to people all the time as a counselor who are unhappy and don't know why, who feel bored in their relationships, who feel frustrated, don't feel very sexy, just kind of have lost that zest for life. And so I'm hoping that this show may be a spark for many people to reconnect to their zesty self and find what feels exotic and erotic and a little edgy for them. We don't judge what another person finds edgy or exotic or erotic. We're curious. We want to know, what turns you on, what turns me on. When we're in relationship with people, we share those things, especially if we're in an intimate relationship. But that doesn't mean that one's better or worse. That doesn't mean one's right or wrong, superior or inferior, any of those nonsensical, judgy things. It just means that we're all a little different. And when we can let go of the judgment, oh my goodness, it frees us to explore our own inner boundaries that maybe want to push themselves out a little bit. So thank you, Glowing Beach Face. She says, thank you for helping us find the true us. Absolutely. You may share this live video with anybody you want to. Absolutely. Yes, I think, we're all in this together. I mean, we're all humans. Somebody said once, we're spiritual beings having a human journey. And so whatever your spiritual beliefs are, that you can fit that into that model that we're energy. We're more than a physical body, which I call a meat suit. But we're living this life in this meat suit, which has all the senses. And that's how we feel and experience life. So when we shut ourselves off from enjoying our sensory self, we really shut ourselves off from living our finest lives. And why would we do that? We don't need to do that. So if you've been raised to believe that pleasure is bad, that enjoyment is something that you have to earn, even great sex, that is something that you don't deserve, I'm here to tell you that's all nonsense. And we're going to help you find your way to get back into who you were meant to be. And I don't know who that is yet, but you're going to be on the journey to do that. And I'll be here to support your journey. So I'm going to sign off for this week. Next week, Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, Exotic Lifestyle Show. And there could be senses that need to be turned on. Yeah, I think we as we grow up, we end up shutting down a lot of our senses. And so, let's turn them on. Let's find new ways to turn them on that aren't threatening, that don't threaten our sense of safety. As a woman in the world, I totally understand that what especially women need to feel free and to feel sensual and exotic and erotic is to feel safe. And that means safe from harm, safe from judgment, safe from rejection, safe from abuse, beating ourselves up because we have an erotic thought or an exotic desire. So anyway, I'm rambling. So, all right, next week, be back and tune in tomorrow night at 5 p.m. at Pacific time for the Wild Women with Wine show with me and Karen Lee Potter. Have a great night. Go find something sensual to touch. Test yourselves tonight and find things that different, the coolness of your countertop or the softness of your robe or the roughness of your carpet, whatever. Go play with your sense of touch tonight. And then next week, come back and let's report on that. All right? Much love. At the end of my yoga classes, I would always say, with great respect and love, I honor my heart, my inner teacher. And they would say, namaste. And namaste means the light in me sees and honors the light in you. And I get chills every time I say that. Have a great night. I'll see you tomorrow night on Wild Women with Wine. Bye. Happy New Year.